This week's Doom Patrol looked at the trauma suffered by Larry, Dorothy, and Jade after the fallout of the last episode, as well as a good and much needed comical interlude from Rita. Hello everyone, I'm DanTheMan. And I really enjoyed this episode, even though it was a very somber one, even for this show, which obviously has its moments, and was light on the comedy that usually balances it out, although Cliff, as always, was good for some one-liners, and the Rita storyline was very entertaining. First off, I'll talk about Larry and his whole storyline with the Pioneers of the Uncharted. The big thing for comic book fans being that we were introduced to Negative Woman. I don't know much about her. I say that a lot with these reviews of Doom Patrol because the truth is, I barely ever read any Doom Patrol, so I knew who these characters were just from the fact they've been around forever, but I'm not good at all the nuances as much as some of the other shows I talk about. I did like the character. The actress gave a very good portrayal with her, and she and Larry had some nice chemistry. I wasn't sure where they were going with it at first, but it was interesting as Larry sort of seeing a counterpoint to him, someone who had better control of the spirit, but had lost a lot of the humanity that Larry desperately wants to cling on to. So that was interesting to see. I was a little puzzled by him wanting to go talk with his family and try to work things out, because honestly, I get why he'd want to do that, but I can't imagine after everything that happened why they would want anything to do with him. His son may or may not have been right about no one surviving Larry Trainor, but Larry's family sure as hell barely survived him. Well, the ones that haven't already died because of him. But it will be interesting to see if they do that, see if Larry can find some redemption. I love the character, so I hope he does. I've got my doubt between this show and the situation. I don't know how they could do that feasibly, even in this show, but you never know. Maybe they'll surprise me. And then we got the storyline with the Underground, which was very good. Diane Guerrero never ceases to amaze me. She is, in my opinion, the best actress on this show. They ask so much of her on this show, and she delivers it out of the park every time. She obviously wasn't burdened with having to play a whole bunch of different personalities this episode, but that didn't stop her from once again shining in her performance. I did like seeing the interaction between her and Hammerhead. I do got to give credit to the actress who plays Hammerhead. She does a real good job. You really would think that is the same person that plays her when Jade is her, even though it obviously isn't. She does a good job at playing not only Hammerhead, but playing Diana Guerrero's take on Hammerhead, which I'm sure is not an easy role to pull off, but she does it. And I did find the whole thing with Miranda interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens now that there's a new primary personality controlling Jade. They kind of teased that a couple episodes ago, but it looks like this time they're really going to do it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. I don't know how long that'll last. I'm guessing probably not too long, but it will be interesting to watch when it does happen, and it definitely looks like we'll get some follow-up to that in the next episode, if the preview was any indication. Then we got Rita's storyline, which was hilarious. As always, April Bowlby does a great job with her role as well, and the whole thing of her confronting the Playmate based on her, I guess you could call it Reign of Terror, even though that's not entirely accurate. Way back in the first episode was a nice callback. I loved her interaction with the girl playing the Blob lady, and Rita's whole statement about she thinks she found her nemesis. It was some nice bit of levity among some other very serious storylines. And then of course we got Cliff and the Chief and Dorothy and their whole storyline. I did love the planet they were on. I just gotta say that. I'm a huge fan of space exploration type stuff. I never thought we'd get much of that Doom Patrol, so I was glad we got this. Somewhat with the Pioneers of the Uncharted, but much more so with the whole scenes with Dorothy and Cliff. I know that was probably entirely CGI, but it was good CGI. I really liked the design of it. I don't know if that's taken from the comic or not, but whoever made the set or whoever rendered the set did a very good job with it. I also like the scene with Cliff talking to Dorothy. Cliff does a great job interacting with sort of childlike characters. I know part of it's the Robotman, the contrast to that big hulking thing, interacting with children, but he still does a great job with it. I really enjoyed seeing that. The ending with Niles shooting Cliff off into space was given away in the preview, which kind of annoyed me because I kept waiting for it to happen. And at the end, when Chief basically betrayed Cliff again, It was pretty obvious that that was coming just because I saw the preview, so whoever did that, I really didn't like that they gave away what would have been a surprise ending, because I wouldn't have seen it coming other than the fact the trailer made it clear it was coming. I'm not sure why exactly the chief was supposed to do that. I don't know if it was supposed to be clear in the episode or not. I had wondered, going this far in the series, if we were going to get a big bad type, a main villain, because that seemed very off-brand not to have one, but here we were 2/3 in and it didn't seem like they did. But it seems pretty clear now the villain of the season is Niles Caulder. I'm not sure where they're going with it. Like I said, he betrayed Cliff again, so unless there's something I'm missing, I don't know how he can come back from that. I mean, he really didn't earn their forgiveness the first time. I guess maybe they'll stick with him because they realize, left to his own devices, Dorothy would inevitably cause destruction, because in all honesty, I think the chief is worse for her than if she'd have been left on her own. He's a horrible parent, which isn't really that surprising, given that he was a horrible caretaker to the Doom Patrol in the end. But I'm definitely interested in seeing where that's going, see if this is maybe how they're going to write off the chief or where they're going to go for that. I thought we were seeing the chief's redemption this season, but it's quite possible we're actually going to see the chief's descent into being unable to be redeemed. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing which one it is as we go into the last 3 episodes of this season. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I'm Dan the Man, and I'll see you next time.